Welcome to another episode of Cocktails with Cousins. I'm Erica.
I'm Jay.
I'm KD.
I'm Raina.
And we are here to talk about Married at First Sight in Houston, season 13. I don't know what episode we are on, so I'm not even going to attempt to say it this time. So go ahead, and before we get started, it does not cost a thing to subscribe to our channel and support us. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like and share the video, and we'll give you a good time like we do every week. All right, let's jump right on into this thing. Let's start off talking about Jose and Rachel. What's happening with them this week?
Okay, so Rachel cooks eggs in a microwave. Who does that?
Right. When she said that, I was like, what? Huh?
Right, but you can get out early enough to go work out, but you can't get early enough to fix your eggs. What?
I don't know. I was.
Y'all ever seen the eggs in the air fryer though? I've seen some TikTok videos about that, and it seems to be, a little.
She puts her eggs in the microwave.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna bash her because like Jimmy Dean has a little things, and that's all it is. You just warm it up in the microwave, or if you had like a quiche or something, an egg quiche or something, or I think they call it breakfast quiche. You have to warm it up. It's all. I mean,
different.
Listen,
yeah.
same time.
Those eggs have already been cooked properly before you.
Right. And I don't understand about Summertime Rachel. She clarified on the filter, but I still didn't get it. Like, what's there to do? What's different about the summertime?
I mean, she's an educator, so she has
I'm an educator too.
Right, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, she's like, I might be in a mood. I might snap. I was like, girl, what? I mean, that's like the best time of the year. What are you talking about?
Well, listen, I'm gonna be on Rachel's side, and I'm just gonna say maybe she's just trying to let him know there's a difference between her professional doing the school year type of personality versus summertime. I know she talked about vacationing and stuff like that, and that is a time where she does that. And I don't know. I don't remember her saying the snap part, but I mean, I guess if you're a little frustrated, you can snap all year round. But I would think without the kids, you'd be a little bit more relaxed. I don't know.
Right. I don't know. But speaking of traveling, did y'all hear the definition that Jose has for traveling?
I did.
Right. Definition that Rachel has for traveling is totally different. She was talking about going like out the country somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He started talking about visiting some other part of Texas. I'm like,
what? He trying to go up the street?
Yeah, because when he first,
like, why?
When he first said, I was like, Texas. Hold on, wait, they in Houston.
They're in Texas,
right? Yeah. Like, I had to really guess myself.
Know that you can travel on a budget. And then the other thing I think we talked about is like you can plan your vacation so far in advance right now, or you could do all inclusive. You can do the cruises, probably not now with COVID, but I think everybody on the cruise ships have to be vaccinated now. But anyway, you could do the cruises, which is pretty much all inclusive other than your alcohol and stuff. And you can plan those things like a year and a half out. I think that he's just not trying to meet her in the middle, and that's concerning.
He's cheap.
And, he is. He's there's nothing wrong with, like, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with traveling to another, like, a destination that's in your state, but that's more like a weekend trip, not so much like
what they call it, a staycation. A staycation.
Yeah, that's basically what that is, right? So he need to get it together.
Yeah, he got all that. He got all that money in the bank, and he said it's gonna stay right there. He not gonna buy nothing. Yeah. He gonna fill up his gas tank and go down to Dallas.
But
I don't know the geography.
The problem is when we leave this earth, we can't take it with us. So my thing is it's a balance because you never know how long you'll be here. But so you have to prepare for both. But I think when you work hard and you go to work and, dealing with whatever your job stresses are, that is very important that you go and sit down somewhere. Even if it's like once a year, I think that he should give, if she's used to, oh my God, I do 4 vacations a year, maybe they can sit down and say, hey, we'll do 2. And kind of, go. I know he got PTO. Like, I know even if it's rolling over, you're either losing it at the end of the year or it's rolling over and now you're sitting with 100+ PTO time. Like, come on. He's in corporate America. He need to do something with that PTO and stop playing.
Yeah, he He said that he is not going on any vacations where he has to pay money. And
that's why he's stressed out. That's why he looks like that, him and his mannerisms. That's why.
You saw the little wine glass in his man. I was like, oh, here we go, Jose. Okay.
You see this, look.
Y'all a whole mess. Well, I guess he's thinking, because Rachel said earlier in the show that she goes on a vacation every month. So I guess he said, I don't want her to believe that she's gonna be able to go on any vacation every month.
Every month?
Yeah, you don't remember her saying that?
I don't know, but what kind of PTO? Yeah, I'm just talking about like what I mean, you taking unpaid time. I don't know, like no.
There's some people like that. They will just use up all their time and just be like, I ain't coming, so you can go ahead on and take it out my check.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it depends on what's important to you. A lot of people, and I think Rachel is like that, value, and I think we talked about that. She values moments and memories and stuff and creating those. That's yeah. And so I think that is definitely a way to create those. And that might be why that's important to her. But no, I'm not. I have to be getting paid on vacation, honey. Don't take that out my check. It ain't that serious to me.
I hurt when I was going on maternity leave, and I was like, I don't think I got enough days. Hold on, wait, what's going to happen? So no way I could just take time every month. And then, I guess they're young. They don't have any kids, so they don't have to worry about having days banked for, when something happens with them. But still,
we don't even want to talk about maternity leave because the United States of America is doing us wrong. Like I'm in a parent group, and these ones in different countries, they get like a whole year off to be with their baby, and it is so appropriate. Like, nobody's ready in 6, 8, or 12 weeks. Nobody that had a baby, I don't care if it's your first or your fifth, you're not ready. And so, but that's a different topic. We'll tune in for Baby or Us.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I 100%. Please don't get me on my soapbox about that.
That's why I said we got to do another video about that.
Yeah.
Y'all comment below if you want a video about maternity leave in the United States.
Right. Exactly. Well, but that was it. Other than that, they were just kind of, doing them or whatever. One other thing though, before we stop talking about them, what do you think about her saying that everything is like 1,000% better now? They had their little whatever. I just don't know how it could be 1,000% better already. Like, he didn't even want to apologize. What do y'all think?
That's a lot of damn forgiveness. Okay. And so she like baby Jesus, like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I think that she's over exaggerating, but I think we talked about this before. In order for this show to work, you have to be like dreaming and fantasize about marriage. And this is what you really want to do, to go to such an extreme. And I think that's what it is, where you're like, oh no, like, oh, it's over. No, sis, it's not. Oh, no. Can you say you want to move forward? You understand the situation, you get it, he apologized, but that just shows that I think that she has an unrealistic expectation of marriage at Disney World.
Yeah, that 1,000%. She's lying through her teeth. Same way she lied through her teeth when Dr. Viviana showed up and was asking how everything went. She's like, everything's fine. Everything ain't fine.
Nope.
She had that
whole list.
A whole list of things that she didn't like about Jose and how he was. So
it seems as if she has on rose-colored glasses with the situation, thinking that it's like completely, cleaned up. But time will tell. We'll see. All right. Moving right along from them, let's go ahead to Ryan and Brett. What do we have to say about them?
This is what I say about Ryan and Brett. Like, I feel bad for her because she's in a predicament that I feel like a lot of women, we have all been through, where you're in that relationship and it's not 50-50. You're not feeling you're giving more than the other person is. And it's very obvious of that. I wish he would be upfront with her, but I also understand why he's kind of holding back, because he's saying, like, I understand that she's been through this before. I don't want to hurt her feelings and blase, and I get it. However, sometimes you just have to rip the Band-Aid off. And that might be the start of a friendship that might go back into a relationship. You just never know. Or it might just be a way to start a conversation of what he doesn't like. But I don't think he even knows what he really he doesn't like about her. I think that he's confused about why there's no attraction. But I'm kind of confused because I don't know why he isn't attracted to her.
I can tell you why. She's not a Victoria's Secret model, leaving.
I mean, she's close enough. She's a beautiful young lady. My thing, like, if she was like a doll face, I mean, she looks, I think she's beautiful. And then her personality on top of that, just very easygoing, it seems to be. She's very open because she came off saying she wasn't adventurous, but all these things that she's doing, I saw them at the gym or something. She's stepping outside of her box to explore this relationship with him. And I think he's just not giving or even trying. I feel like if he put a little bit more effort into it, he'll see, like if you plant seeds, he'll see, he'll reap that back in their relationship. But I don't think that he's open or willing to. And I hope it's not because she's not, I don't know. I don't know what.
Did y'all see where he recorded like her bathroom, her closet, and was talking about how messy she was and all that? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, but that's an easy adjustment. You could easily, if you would just voice that, she can make the adjustment. She can change that. That's not like a characteristic. Like that's something she can change, right? Yeah. Like, okay, I'll pick up after myself a little bit more, or you know what I mean? So like, if he would just say that, then she would have ample time to make those adjustments by the end of the 8 weeks or however long it is. So it's like, I don't understand why something that little, like he can't even say it and he can't even voice it, which I don't think is fair to Brett. Because again, it's like, if I have something on my face, tell me. You're going to have me walking around here looking stupid. You'd rather let me do that instead of just telling me, oh, you got something on your face, right? Right.
So I'm starting to believe what those magazines Edgar said about in the Halfway There episode, that he uses his sister to tell Brent how he's feeling.
Mm-hmm. Which he was an open book with his sister. He was
right because he doesn't want to hurt Brent's feelings, so he lets her let her off easy.
But that's doing more damage, honestly.
Yeah,
that's gonna
hurt. And it's not gonna work long term wise either. So if you want a long lasting relationship,
but he don't want a relationship with her. That's why he's using his sister to tell her that.
Yeah, he has checked out on what I guess that plane ride is where he checked out. I don't know. That's what I'm just assuming. But he is completely checked out. He is not putting forth any effort. Zach hit the nail on the head when he was like, Pastor Cal told me I was getting in my own way. Do you think you're doing that? And he was like, I don't know, sir. Yes, that's what you're doing. You're getting in your own way. He's not even trying. He has already put it in his mind that he's saying no on decision day. And he's just not turning away from what that is. He is like full steam ahead down the road of this girl is not going to do nothing right no matter what. Like, I don't see him even putting forth any effort.
And I do like, okay, that's the thing that I like about the guys' relationships, because they're honest with one another. So Zach said to him, they went to go work out together. He said to Ryan, he was like, we're real people in real relationships, so you can't put on a facade. And that is so true. Like, why be fake? Just be honest, be real. Like, this is a real relationship. Like, I get you doing it for the TV, but like, it's still real. This is an experiment, but you still got to participate. You still have to be honest with yourself, because it takes two to make it work. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it's not fair to Brett that she's putting her all out there and you just like leaving her hanging. And so that's, that I'm with you, Zach. He said it perfectly.
Yeah, he did.
On the Unfiltered, it made it seem, Ryan made it seem like him and Zach have these conversations a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't finish watching the Unfiltered. I saw parts of it though. Well, if they're having these conversations a lot, then why is nothing sticking in his head?
I don't know. The other thing is, I just going back to like, trying to be in an unrealistic relationship. I think like even with him recording her closets and stuff like that, those are just human. Like, we're humans. I mean, you're not in a relationship with a machine, and I think that once you really find somebody that you want to connect with, you kind of, and I think the key word is that you want to connect with, you kind of work through those human like things, because we all have them. It's not like he's perfect. I'm pretty sure if we set her down, she's like, and he leaves his drawers in the bathroom on the floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all those things that, oh, he didn't put that dish in the dishwasher. It's always something, but it's nothing. I was watching the other show, and they talked about divorceable moments. And those aren't divorceable moments. Those are like, hey, pick that up, pick that shit up. You know, it's not that, oh, it's over, we're going downtown, sign these papers. And the other thing on that other show, they were saying, you know, is it worth going through the divorce? It's not, sometimes it's not worth, and I know theirs is different because there is, you know, it's a 10-week thing or whatever, but it's still the same concept. That is it worth just walking away from something, or is it worth sticking in there and trying to build? And I think that's the difference. If you really, really want to build and you really, really found someone that you connect with, all those other things are very, very small in the whole you know, scheme of things.
Yeah, but here's the part that gets me with Ryan. He claims he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, right? That's why he doesn't want to tell her. But here it is, like, you're on national television. We see you on camera telling your sister, talking to Zach, talking to this person, that person about Brett and what you don't like about her. And like all this, you're airing it all out, right? Right. You're talking
That's
about
gonna hurt more.
How she washes her clothes and it's still sitting in there. It's like, why are you putting her on blast this way? But you just can't be honest with her and be upfront with her. And that's the part I'm like, that's more hurtful than anything.
Yeah, and when she goes back and review this, and her friends and family, is going to be very hurtful and embarrassing. But the other thing, who washes their clothes and folds and put it up in the same day? Like I said, on a good day I might, but it's something written down. You have 2 to 3 business days to get your clothes folded. Like, let her wash her clothes on Monday, and as long as she put them up by Friday, sis is good. Like, back up. Like, I wish I was in the house with him so I could critique him. Like, look, you didn't even flush. You left shit on the toilet. Like, come on, like.
Yeah. And then the way he was trying to like drag it out, like if he would have just, I don't know if y'all know what the scene I'm talking about, where she came home and they're sitting there in the living room and it's like, he's trying to build the confidence up to like tell her how he feels, but then he ends up just blaming it on how he didn't get enough sleep because he's been sleeping.
He's sleeping on the couch.
Right. Well, he moved into the room though. He moved into the room, didn't he?
Well, after she was like, well, just go into the room.
At the end of that scene,
took the other.
Yeah, I'm saying at the end of that scene, he moved into the room and out off of the couch, which I think is weird. And I feel like that was another thing, like Raina said, that he was using as an excuse. Oh, I'm tired. I'm like, come on, like just tell her, like,
you gotta say, because even Brett was like, just tell me, like she knows.
She knows.
Right. She want him to tell her face to face, like just tell me. So,
but I also feel like Brett, if you feel that in your heart, sometimes you got to be the one to be like, you know what, done. Don't wait for it. It's, I think that's a coward move on her behalf, is to wait for him to come and tell you when you feel it in your heart and his actions are lining up with, look, I'm not feeling you, sis. So I think that she needs to be confident in herself and say, you know what, enough is enough. You're not showing me, I'm out. And then you can leave the door open and say, and if you're willing and you change your mind, then let's see. But I think that maybe she needs to take control of it and don't do the coward way out, which is to say, he got to tell me to my face. I mean, his actions are telling you to your face. So, and then she's kind of embarrassing herself too. Like, I think just because I know the camera said I'm showing off. I'm like, let me tell you this, right? Her, But
just last week at the dinner, she had to say how her heart will always be open. And so I think that's her way of like staying open to it by waiting on him. And so she even went as far as planning that date to that Ninja Warrior thing. And I mean, that's nice. Like, you could tell, like, she has a good heart, because even how the way he treats her, she's still planning these dates, these double dates, and doing these nice things for Ryan because she knows he likes stuff like that. So I'm like, he just needs to stop taking advantage of the just be done with it. You just want to stay on the show at this point.
What I'm telling her, she need to take her Red Bull, get some wings, because I will be on there telling them, like, I just feel like he's playing the cards. Just like in most relationships, the dude pays the card. We give them the hand and they play it. No, sis. Like, what if she says, I'm out? Now what? You know what I'm saying? And I would be ready to be out, because what is she getting from the relationship?
That's what he's hoping for.
Yeah, that's what he's waiting for.
That's what he's hoping for, because he's too much of a coward
to
what he's hoping for, to say it.
She's not benefiting from the relationship. In a relationship, you have to get something from the relationship. That's what it is. It's a give and take. And each party decides what those things are. But you should get something from every relationship that you have. Not only just intimate relationship, friendships. You should get something. Both parties should get something and benefit. Not all the time, like, it's not really, but at the end of the day, it should be a balance. If there's all, then that's the opportunity for conversation.
Well, I think he's a big contradiction anyway, because he talks about what she doesn't have, but then like when they went to the Ninja Warrior place or whatever, or the CrossFit, whatever, he was like, yeah, I like doing things like that. I hope that we could do things like this more often. I'm like, you
for the camera.
He's a good camera. Yeah, like he said that she is a good communicator, she's competitive, and these are all the things that he likes, but he's not feeling her. Like, so what is it about her that you're not feeling or whatever?
Well, we already established that he's a weirdo, you know, in the instance that, you know, you going on these dates, wasn't he the one they said it was a serial dater?
Yeah.
So my thing is, you should know, bro, what you want. You a serial dater, you have gathered a lot of data to decide what type of woman that you want. And then if this is not what you want, you've been on plenty of dates and swipe left, tell her to her face, man up and tell her, look, I'm not feeling, he should still be respectful, but he should definitely put it on the table. Like, I'm not feeling this, but I also feel like he might fulfill her more if he just was open. I don't think his heart is open. I'm not really sure why, but I just feel like his heart is not open for it. And that's why he's not receiving anything from this relationship and willing to walk away from it.
Well, he said he was raised as a robot, so that's why his heart's not.
Yeah, it's definitely apparent. So
anyway, because he at this point, he is just, we've already established he's not trying. He's checked out. She seemed a little checked out, and I just want her to get fed up and be like, look, sir, I'm done. But
all that time,
yeah, we'll see. All right, let's move on to Zach and Michaela. Let me tell you, this week they were like a new couple. I was like, did we get somebody new on the show? Like, they were getting along, they was all lovey-dovey and having good moments. I mean, what did y'all think about this change in their behavior?
I loved it because I've been rooting for them.
Yeah, it was cute to see them at the little bounce thing. She's sitting there trying to do her little ball.
Yeah, I like the fact that he embraced her natural hair and that type of thing. Because, you know, as women, when you are natural, it is, you can be confident as you want, but it's something about, okay, what is somebody gonna think? What do you know? And so to have your significant other or someone that is important to you just say, oh, you look good in that as you are. You don't have to add anything, you know. And I like that he emphasized that, made, you know, put it out there on national television, and hopefully other men will follow suit. But I also like the fact that Michaela had a big smile on her face when they were doing the poem. That really touched me to see how, like, it seemed genuine. It's everything from the, you know, we're an audience and we're looking, but I perceived it as being a genuine moment, and I could appreciate that. And I was like, okay. And then the other thing is that I said, maybe Hurricane Michaela it's just a front, maybe. I don't know, but I'm still team Zach for now. And Michaela, I'm watching her from a distance, you know, but yeah, we'll see.
I'm amazed that the growth that Michaela has shown in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
even
I
her
agree.
sister noticed it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just like that, you know, like you meet somebody, they call you on, I mean, I feel like my husband, they call you on your shit, and then you're willing to change. You're just like, is this person worth it? And them calling you on your shit makes you feel like they worth it. Like, they see the value in you, they look past that hardness, that type of stuff. And then that's how you really fall in love with somebody, because, you know, it'd be like right here.
Well, she said that he learned how to talk to her the way that she needs it. Did y'all was talking to her sister?
I mean, that's what I heard possible.
I wrote down. I love that. It's because I feel like Zach actually finally gave her a chance instead of like keep holding her actions and, you know, over her head, like her previous actions, her knee-jerk reaction. So like now that he's actually given her a chance, it's like they're like that. They're that couple that we first saw when they first got married and met at the altar. That's the feeling that I got from them.
Yeah.
So it's like when she had that lunch or dinner with her sister, and just hearing Michaela talk about how she's learned not to act this certain way with Zach, and how to communicate and how to talk to him, and how she likes for him to talk to her. Like you say, Erica, I'm like, you know what? That's growth. Like, she's really learning their relationship and how to go about it. And so, like, I'm proud of both of them because it took both of them to get to that point. They both had some growing up to do on both ends. So that, to me, that's the part. And also one more thing, when they did the little bubble ball thing, remember how I said before, like, they kind of feed off of one another. So when Michaela asked Zach, so when's the first time you felt, she said, when did you first feel happy in this marriage? He was like, do you have an answer?
Right.
Like, and I'm like, why are you waiting for her to answer? Like, what is your answer? But both of their answers were really positive, and I love that. Like, I think he said when he was dancing for her in front of her at their wedding with his friends was like all around, he was like sitting there dancing in front of Michaela. That was like his happy moment. And then for Michaela, she said it's when he showed up at her door after the honeymoon because they hadn't seen each other. I was like, that's so sweet.
Yeah. I just think growth is important, and then growing in a relationship is important, and having someone that you connect with that wants you to grow, and then helps you to grow to the person that I think all of us want to be inside. So we all have this image of ourselves of where we want to be, but to actually find someone to help cultivate that person or that personality or whatever you want to call it is really rare, but it's deep. And I think that's where you really, really connect and fall in love, like that life connection, lifelong, death do you part type of connection and love. So hopefully they'll continue to grow. And like I said, I was impressed. I did see a different couple, and I was like, okay, they might make it.
Yeah, they definitely were a different couple, but please don't forget the teaser of Here Came Michaela.
I know, but then I keep saying, like, what is it that made her go left like that? Like, but we'll see.
It might be the production. Yeah. It might be the crew, the camera crew. I don't know. I hope it ain't.
Yeah, you know, the edits always get us, though. The edits, I'm telling you.
Yeah, look, time will tell. All right, let's move on. Mirla and Gil. What did you guys think about them this episode?
Love them.
Yeah, that they're cute together. I love them. Like, they're really growing strong.
Go ahead,
I love that conversation that Mirla was having with her friend. She was holding her accountable.
She was,
as a good friend should.
Yeah, but she said this ain't the Mirla show. So
she did. She said you're gonna need to get to know those folks. But that was funny to me. I'm like, so he said he wanted to go see his friend's new house, and she's like, but let's go to a bar. Girl,
what's the point?
You know what? The thing is, I think she may have been single too long. and it's funny because out of one side I hear her say, like, oh, you know, like they were talking about apartments, and she was like, oh, I've been waiting all this time to share an apartment. But then it's like, but it's got to be this, it's got to be that. Where are we about to move? Like, I'm like, sis, like, you need to stay focused. I think that she's really spoiled, and I don't know, you know, I feel like listening to her backstory is not necessarily like growing up. Some people, they grow up and they're spoiled and this, that, and the other. And so as they go into adulthood, they expect other people to continue to spoil them. I think that she has spoiled herself, and she's been single a day too long. And it's nothing wrong with it, but it's starting to manifest in their relationship in a negative way. But I also see her giving a little bit. So it might just, I just feel like we only see this quick snapshot. But I say a year down the line of her being with him, we'll see a whole different giving, loving. It's more about him. But I think she's still stuck on it's me, which it should have been prior to getting into a relationship. So I think that's something we just have to give her a little bit of grace and mercy on. She'll transition.
Guess who's growing on her though? Hype.
She wanted a dog. Oh, the baby! I saw that. The little baby. Well, not the baby, the dog.
The dog. Yep. Because now
everybody
she wants
thinks they're not dog people until they get a dog.
Yeah.
But now she wants a dog of her own.
Huh? Go ahead.
I was just saying dogs have a personality and they grow on you because they have a personality.
All right. She still don't like the fact that he drools all the time, but you saw she's taking care of Hype. She's wiping.
No, she was worried about
him on dog walks, feeding him her food, her table food.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Mirla, like this is a new Mirla. We're like she's coming around. So I'm happy to see that side of her. I thought it was funny how like Gil, he's starting not to hold back anymore because she was like, he was trying to make his little protein shake or a smoothie. And he was, no, I'm saying like, she was like, oh, can you make me one of those? And he was like, make your own. I was like, ooh. I mean, because Gil is like a giver. Like he's really sweet. He's, that's what I'm talking about. So when he said that, I was like, okay, Gil, like he's.
I get what you're saying. He's kind of standing up to her a little bit.
Yeah.
Challenging that spoiled brat in her.
Yeah. And then when they started talking about the apartments at that time, he let her know, like, I don't care about concierge. I'm really not a fan of high rises.
You saw her face though, right?
Huh?
You saw her face though, right?
But when she had that conversation with her friend though, he had already found this nice one where they have like the gym facility, like an acre of the amenity center. And she said something about like that workout mirror where they work you out on the mirror. Yeah. And I was like, see, although he said all that, he's still putting her needs first and like her wants first. And I was like, that's really sweet for him to be like, he's really a good husband. So
but she needs to give it back. Nobody can do that. But she's I'm not
gonna let you sit here and beat up on Mirla because I'm gonna tell you one thing that she said that I think was very profound. She said, I could have chose to focus on the negative.
Right.
Yeah. I chose to focus on the positive. And we can see that that's the difference because with this couple that we're going to talk about next, somebody's focusing in on the negative, but she's like, I am here for an experiment. Is different. I'm going to have to be a little open-minded, but I'm still going to be a bougie princess. And that's okay. But, she got paired with the right husband because he definitely is her match. And
he's patient.
He has an open, like he's ready and she has an open mind. You can see her personality changing. Whereas before she was like, nope, I'm not going to kiss him. Like you saw, she gave him a few pecks this episode.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, so I just think that she has a very good attitude towards the entire process, which is why you can see the difference in their progress and growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And
right. Oh, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, I was just saying they're going in a great direction because you heard him. He did not renew his lease for his apartment.
That's major.
Yeah.
Like they haven't even finished the experiment yet. And he was like, renew it. And like, I mean, that was major. When he said that, I was like, okay, I like
it. I think he's made his decision and he's verbalized throughout these past episodes his commitment to the relationship. And then his actions line up. Like he's showing that he's 150% in. He's very attentive to her needs, what she wants. He tolerates all that whiny princess stuff. He, I mean, it's only like 10% of the male population that would deal with that.
Yeah, but he gave her respect this time too. When he was talking to his friend, he was like, she has the money to be able to support herself. She's done that, she's doing that or whatever. So he did, how he always is poking fun with her or saying something about her spending habits. He did at least acknowledge the fact that she lives a lavish lifestyle, but she can afford to do so. So I mean, growth on both their parts. I can't wait to see where they go. What do you guys think?
I agree.
They're gonna make it.
I think they're gonna make it.
Well, they've already made it because they found somewhere else to stay.
Right. Well, I think they're gonna be that couple that we see, 7, 8, 9, seasons down the line that are still together. You know how
they're gonna be on couple cam.
They are.
Yeah,
look.
Yeah, most definitely. I see Jose and Rachel, and I think Michaela and Zach. Even though I still don't freak with Michaela like that, but I think they're gonna make it.
Okay.
Based on the sneak peek, I don't know. But
I don't know.
And I keep looking at Johnny and Bao. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's just go ahead on and let's end talking about these two, and let's move right on to the next last couple, the one that we have been waiting to talk about. This Bao and Johnny. Lord have mercy, y'all. What in the world? That's all I'm gonna say. What in the world is going on with them?
All I can say is Bao is better than me.
Much.
Yep.
Much better.
Better than 50% of America.
For sure. So I'm gonna start off talking about in the order that it went in. So first she's cooking in the pressure cooker. I don't know about that either. I'm like, who does that? But anyway,
get you a pressure cooker and stop.
No, she had the top off of it.
I'm talking about she was sauteing something in the pressure cooker.
Yeah,
you can. Some of the pressure cookers.
Maybe it was one of those multi ones. Now,
some of you can saute, fry. It's different functions, and it's good.
All right, focus. Go for it.
Go ahead.
So she was cooking. That's, I guess, one of her gourmet meals. And so anyway, that led to them having dinner. And I felt like everything was going well until this was a setup. This was a whole setup by Johnny, because Johnny starts off the conversation by saying, so, do you think you're giving, what did he say? He said, do you think you're giving 100% in this relationship? And she was like, yeah, I think I'm doing the best that I can. And then what does he say in response? He says, well, I feel like your 100% is equal to like my 150%. Like, I'm like, time out.
Houseway.
Yeah. I was like, who the F do you think you are? Like,
I would have flipped over that table. See, he got the right one.
Yes. Seriously. And so I'm like, he was waiting to like attack her with this. That's how I felt. I'm like, first of all, you set this up. Like, why? Why are you coming at her like this? So he says all of that, right? And it's like, how dare you tell her that her 100% is not good enough? Like, who are you? And so that's the first thing that I had. And he was trying to say, well, you're not doing enough. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not flirty. You're not this. And I'm just like, I mean, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And so anyway, Bao says, well, I'm consistently thinking of you in the relationship. And he was like, you're not consistent at all. And I'm like, his reality is completely different from what we see as an audience, what Bao sees. So I'm like, he's going crazy. I don't know what's wrong with him. But anyway, he does not appreciate Bao or anything she does for him. Like, she does the little things that's not grand gestures, right? She meal preps, she cooks, she cleans up, she folds laundry, all his stuff. So it's like these little things she does, like, he doesn't even appreciate it. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He doesn't do any of those things. And so for him to make it seem as if like she doesn't do anything, he literally does not give her credit for anything. And I'm like, yeah, I felt bad for Bao, because I'm like, he does not deserve her. He really doesn't deserve her. And then for him to uninvite or disinvite, whichever one, uninvite her to his family's barbecue. I'm like, really, Johnny? But did you see the look on his face though, when he was telling his family, basically talking bad about Bao and how she doesn't make him happy? They're like, well,
doesn't make him high school happy. Auntie, get that right.
The auntie, I was loving everything she was saying. Talk about, well, maybe if you would stop having expectations in the relationship, then you would be happier, because you having expectations was ruining everything for you, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, that's it. That's it. Like, that's all. And that's all.
And Johnny's face was red.
Because he was getting upset. He was getting upset at everything that
I noted that
was telling him. Yeah.
But I told you, I think that he's very aggressive. He, everything is intense and an argument when she's very calm and approaching him for a conversation. He always, look at the table incident, his mannerism, everything about him screams like he's 1 second from blowing up or some stuff. Like, I'm watching him like, bro, did you take your man to talk? Because something's going on that he keeps doing. Like, everything is a trigger for him. Super red in the face, I noticed. But Right now, what I will say, what you just said about the 150 and 100, let me tell you like this. I think that sometimes it seems as if the person is not appreciative of what you're doing. But what we're really seeing is kind of with Michaela and Zach, where Zach had to learn to communicate her to her in a way that is that she's able to accept it, you know. So sometimes it goes back to like the love language type thing, that you could do 100 of something, but it doesn't meet that person's need. And I think like when in my relationship, I had to learn that with my husband. I thought, you know, I mean, I've said it, like we was talking in the car, so I'm like, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, I do this, you know, and I'm going down the list. And then the person says, well, like, is that important to your husband? Is that what he describes as a good wife? And I'm thinking like, well, that's what everybody, like what I do, like everybody want that, you know, but he was like, no, that's not what I consider a good wife. You can cancel that part, do this part, you know, and we kind of went in details of like, okay, I had this long list of what I thought was a good wife to him, but if that is not his definition and it doesn't meet his needs, so I think with Val and Johnny, that might be what's going on, but he needs to be able to verbalize what a good wife is, or what, you know, what meets his needs. And I think that's the part that he's not able to do. And that's why they're going to keep going in this circle until he's able to say, you, this is what I want. This is what kind of tickles my feather, not all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Like he said it. He just being really nitpicky about every little thing. That's how I feel. Cause it's like, he said something about, well, you don't initiate and I need you to wake me up and go jogging or do yoga because that's what you enjoy doing. You need to like, invite me to do things that you like. And I'm just like, what? I'm at a loss for words when it comes to Johnny. Like he don't deserve to be on this show.
What? Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that they knew each other prior to?
No.
Oh, you
just said something that was mean. He said maybe this is why he didn't talk to her a couple of years ago.
Well, and he also said, I wish I would have literally been matched with anybody else.
That was mean. That was super mean. He said anybody else. Like it could be a rapist, it could be this. Like that was an insult and a jab to her. And I didn't like that. I do remember seeing that part when he said that, and I didn't think that was right. And that was mean. And she said it. But another thing about Val, just to like put it out there, she does have childlike tendencies. Like even the way she said, like she was like, you said mean things. I'm like, is she 12? Like but sometimes people have trauma, and whatever age the trauma is, that's kind of where they go in uncomfortable situations. So they kind of like shrink down at that age. So I was wondering, okay, let's sit you on the couch, let's see what's up, because she literally was like, he says a lot of mean things to me. I'm like, where'd that come from? You know, I mean,
when they sat there and had that conversation with Pastor Cal, I'm kind of glad he did it in front of Pastor Cal, because you know, he can see like how Johnny acts. He can see his outward. He was great. And the fact that he said all of these mean things about Val right in front of him, and Val just sat there and took it all. And so Pastor Cal's response to that was, you know, like, you have a strong woman right beside you. She's sitting here listening to you say all these things about, but she's still here. She's still trying to hold your hand. She's still trying to, you know, get through this marriage with you. And that's what you have. And that's what you don't even realize.
Yeah, but does he have a strong woman, or does he have a weak woman? Get what I'm saying? So with a strong woman that's confident in themselves and know what they bring to a relationship and everything, sit there and just take it.
I'm gonna tell you like this. If I was Val, Hurricane Val would have came out, and I would have been flipping some tables.
Yeah, no, he did enough to her where I was like, well, let me take out my earrings and jump in this screen, because he was acting like a fool. In the whole world. I know you talk about Val having childlike tendencies, but he throws tantrums
like a toddler.
all the time.
That's
all he's doing or whatever. And let me tell you, the only time, look, I done said this before, the only time he perks up is when he's talking about sex. Sex comes up, his eyes get all bright, he get all happy and giggly or whatever. That's the only thing he wants. And that's why he hasn't probably been able to, opinion, has been able to maintain any type of relationship, because he has this unrealistic view of what it's like to be in this relationship and what he wants from the relationship. And then anytime that they just do anything wrong, then he's ready to cut them off. And if they're not giving him what he wants, which it appears that all he wants to do is have sex, and that's the only thing that's gonna make him happy, then it's a problem, because he's like, I want you to, what is it that he said? I want you to just spontaneously do this or do that. Like, sir, nobody is thinking about having sex 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, it's just not when you're working and you're having to keep out, like, it's not happening. Like,
which is crazy, because she's the one who wants more sex, but clearly that's not happening. So I don't understand. To me, that they miss me on that. Like, how are they saying the same thing but two different things?
I really think what is going on here is that when you start those dating apps, first of all, I do agree that he is turned on, motivated by sex. And I think what's going on is that when you are on those apps, you know that there is a backup. You swipe 2 times, you can probably fuck, So I think that is what we're seeing going on. But in the real life, and you're getting older, you're 35, like, you can't keep swiping and fucking. Like, you have to connect some other way. But I think that once you get into a habit of only connecting that way, then your mind is programmed that, oh, she's not doing this. And then some of the things, how he's described it, spontaneous. That's when you first meet. You're damn right. You just, it's all new, and you get all those butterflies. You just fucking him. No, after a while, you're right. Life happens. You're working. Your kids are coming to play. So yeah, it's not, oh, we can come in and, oh, it's just throw me against the wall. No, it's like, let's get dinner. You grab the baby. Verbal, you know what I'm saying? All real life situations happen where both parties understand that we have to do A, B, C, D, and you always find time and squeeze it in. But I just feel like that's kind of how he is operating and dealing with Val in that swipe left type of mentality. If I could put a phrase out there, and I think that's what he's doing.
And basically, he said
really,
and it won't last.
Go ahead, Katie.
Val really hit the nail on the head when she says that's what you do as married couples. You show up to events, although you might not be getting along. Me and my husband argue in a car going to events, but you better be damn well know that we're gonna put on a united front when we get there. And also, she said that her parents have been married for up 10 years because, and so she's seen what the healthy marriage looks like. And then I can say this, because Johnny's parents are divorced, he might not have seen what you go through in a marriage.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Katie, but it's not necessarily healthy that her parents have been married that long, because she talked about her childhood and how her daddy was like a drunk and a
She did say that. I forgot
and
about
so,
that.
But I understand what you're saying. But again, back to I was gonna piggyback of what Jay was saying, how he even said though, like he wants to feel like those high school butterflies. And he said that at the family barbecue. His
at
family
40?
like, but you're not in high school though.
Right.
But at 40, we almost 40. Come on. I mean, I think they're 30. They're 30, right? Everybody 30. So yeah, but still.
And I think I think it was his cousin, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the family members. He was like, but you have to realize, Johnny, that she's making alterations to herself that she's not used to doing. So, and that's gonna take time. And I'm like, there you go. Like, I need all of his family to be preaching to him right now, because like he just does not get it. He don't understand. Even the aunt, like I said, she was like, yeah, you and these expectations, get rid of the expectation. That's basically what she kept saying. Basically. And I'm like, right. And he was like, yeah, but do you want me to be married to anybody, or do you want me to be married about? She was like, I just want you to be happy. But with happiness, you need to take out the expectation. And that's what Pastor Cal was saying when he was like, I'm comparing her to the the ideal person that I had in my mind, who I thought I was going to get married to and matched up with. Pascal, she don't exist. He said she does not exist. So just get
bury
rid of
her. He said
she has to be. She has to be his idealistic person. But when he gonna make some idealistic person? Like, he doesn't see where he has to do anything different. But I think that goes back to where he was talking about earlier in the show, when he was saying he always wants a woman who is more into him than he is into her. And so Bao was like, look, I want something from you, the same way that I'm giving you something. And he is not he's not feeling that. And then on top of that, when they were talking to Pastor Cal, he kind of said what Bao said at the dinner with all the couples. Like, everything that she said, he kind of confirmed it. She was making, now our definition of gourmet meals might be different, but he said that she was
doing gourmet meals. Like she.
So when he was saying that all that she was saying was a lie, but when they were talking to Pastor Cal, he was like, did it happen? Did you do it? Did she? Da, 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 da. And he was like answering in a way that was favorable to Bao. So I'm like, what is it that you are expecting her to do that she's not doing? I just don't like, what is it that he expects? I don't get it.
Well, you know what? I think sometimes, when you're in a relationship and it's not so permanent, you know what I'm saying? But when it's marriage, and then under these conditions where it's almost like you're in the pressure cooker, you need to decide now. It's a gamble. Love is a gamble, but you can be with somebody years and not like, just ride the wave and not marry them for a while. But in this situation, it is high pressure. Like, you have to make a decision on this day, and it's very permanent. You know what I'm saying? And I think that creates an environment that's really high, and the tensions is there. And I think that's kind of what we're feeling from Johnny, maybe, that he doesn't do well in that type of environment where it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Like, well, I just think that he's trying to figure out a way. Like, I feel like he's always looking for an exit, and I can't understand why he thought he was prepared to be on this show. It's too much baggage that he needs to unpack before he can be a good mate. And unless he take the advice that Zach gave to Ryan, and stop looking at all the negative things and try to look at some of the positive things, he's gonna keep finding reasons to be frustrated.
The other thing is, need to understand is, if you had so many options and you had, like, why did you end up on this show? Like, this kind of extreme side of the spectrum. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could always go to the bar, or to any organization that you're associated with to kind of meet somebody, but you went all the way on national television to marry a stranger. So that tells me that you're not finding what you need. You're not being satisfied by the normal means of meeting and engaging with people. So you try something different. Okay, that's fine. Thumbs up, good. But now that you're in the process, I think that he's not really fully taking advantage of the situation and really been open to it. So he's not going to fully benefit from it. I just feel like he's taking those same habits that he does on Tinder or any other, dating website or method he uses, and applying them to this situation that is totally different.
And it's because he doesn't understand that there is no perfect person. Like, he really does not understand that. Like, you have to get to know one another. Because even she said it when, after the whole blow up in the conversation with Pastor Cal, the next day they finally talked in the bed, and he was talking about how he had basically, he regretted saying a lot of things because it came out raw, right? And which that's what he get, because he's a hothead. He just pop up off at the mouth. And so he did apologize, kind of. And she was trying to tell him, she was like, look, we don't know each other yet. You don't know me and I don't know you. So, like, we are still learning one another. And that's the part, I think Pastor Cal said it best. He said, we put two imperfect people. He's like, she is perfectly imperfect for you, is what he said. And so that's the part. It's like, no one is perfect. You ain't perfect. Hell, he is far from perfect, clearly. But it's like, she's still trying to put up with you. So if he could just reciprocate that, and I just need him to understand, like, there is nobody perfect. Nobody. Yeah. So he didn't understand that.
I think that he'll understand that a little bit more once he digs deep, because as you start to dig deep, then you literally have to take that mirror that you are showing the other person, like, look at you, you're doing this, and you have to turn it to yourself. And once you do that, then that's where that grace and mercy comes from. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I was very similar to that. I keep saying me, but I think you let people know. But I feel like I was like that, like, oh, you. But then once you meet somebody, you have that forces you to turn and look at yourself and dig deeper. Then you will start handling that person and dealing with that person with the same grace and mercy that they're giving you, because now you understand that I'm just as fucked up as you are. We both are fucked up individuals that love each other, but we want to work through it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a different type of expectation set when you can see your own flaws, and that takes time, you know what I'm saying? And an open heart and spirit to just open up and say, okay, let me turn this from you to me. And then by doing that, you automatically operate and deal with that person on the other side of the mirror a little bit differently, because you just see a reflection of yourself, or how you would want someone to deal with you in that very same situation. Not being foolish.
Like I said in the last podcast, marriage forces you to look at yourself.
Yeah.
A healthy marriage.
He's not there yet. He's a long way from turning any mirrors to anywhere. He's just not ready. Like the tantrums that he has on every show is just like unheard of. Like I just don't understand why he thought he was ready for this show.
You saw the part where he was like, Bao was talking to the camera and you hear him screaming in the background in the room.
Yeah. He made like a whole scene of it.
Yeah, it's funny because Ryan on Unfiltered had said he was like looking at both Rachel and Bao, talking about, you ladies, I commend y'all. Like I give y'all so much credit, because the way y'all handled those like crazy heated moments, like y'all just kept y'all's cool and y'all were calm. And I'm like, yeah, seriously, I feel like women take a lot. We take a lot when it comes to that type of like explosive arguing and arguments. But Johnny think he's the best thing since sliced bread. He even said to his aunt, he was like, why do you think I haven't settled yet all these years? And
he did. Could you believe when he said that? I was like, sir,
but he's a serial dater
that ran right? from you too.
How many
that's what I was about to say. Johnny is the real serial dater.
100, and not one thought that you were a great catch to pursue. Come on, like I'm just saying. Right. And they still ain't calling your phone. I ain't seeing your phone hot doing these episodes. Ain't nobody calling your phone dry, bro. Like, okay.
But why didn't he answer the question right away when Pastor Cal asked him if there was someone else that he had in mind?
Did he answer the question at all?
You know what? There's someone else's on Tinder, and he didn't swipe left, so that's a possibility. Like, he need to stop. Like, come on, like dig deep. Dig deeper. Life is more than fucking, and that's what you need to understand. Life is about really, especially relationships, it's about building that long-term partnership. Like when you 90, if you get to be 90 years old, do you want to be alone or you want to be with somebody you've been with all the time? To me, it's about building. It's about building with someone for a life partnership. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think about that in your 20s and even early 30s. No other girls I kind of saw. But what I'm saying, in my early 20s, you know what I'm saying, when I was knucking and bucking, it was different. But once you hit 30-ish, like you go into a cruising where you're looking, your expectations are different. What you are satisfied by or with is different. You just transition. And I think that he needs to go ahead and transition from Tinder to Tender Love and Care, the senior edition.
But Erica, to answer your question, he did answer, but it was like real quick because I had to rewind it. He said no, I'm not. He said no, I'm not talking to anybody else. But what I have in front of me is not what I want. That's one of the mean
which was another jab.
That's one of the other mean things he said about Bao, and I'm just
like
he would have kicked one of these.
Anybody else? Y'all can do what anybody else wasn't jabbing-ish enough. You know what I'm saying? Like just take the woman out. Why don't you? You know, like
he's immature, and you know what?
Yeah.
She is a strong woman who can take all that, but I'd rather her be with someone who is not flaky, who doesn't run the moment things don't go his way. It's like she deserves better than him, and he doesn't deserve. He doesn't deserve.
Because even with her giddiness that she does with different situations, I think she still has a level head, that she is still trying to help him to kind of realize, like, hey, look, we're not, you know, it's not that bad. Let's think it through. Let's try to work it out. Like, I mean, he's just not being. That's all.
He's not being realistic.
No.
He's not being realistic. That's what it is. But
I love Val's demeanor, because when he said, Pastor Cal asked him about, is there someone else? And he deflected and said,
you didn't answer the question.
He said something mean, and she was like, yeah, but you didn't answer the question, though.
Right.
And I was like, oh, she caught him. There you go. Stay on it, Val.
No, that's why I was thinking the same thing. Like, he was talking about everything else. No, bro, let's answer. You fucking somebody else or not? You know, like, we need to talk. Like, but you know what? I'm not convinced with his answer, though, to be honest with you. I think that there is someone, like, let's say he was like, you know what? Let me like creep back on Tinder real quick.
That's what he was at.
Yeah.
He was in them Tinder streets.
I think that he maybe creeped back on and saw Cutie, you know, somebody that, you know, that would normally get him going. And maybe they had and I'm not even gonna say a long drawn out conversation, more like, what's up? And then she was finding, what's up? He like, oh shoot, I don't know about Bow no more, because, you know, number 1578 doesn't respond. You know, it's just like,
I can't put it past him, because every time something happened, he goes back home.
Yeah. Well, and then hold on, wait. I mean, even on Tinder though, I'm still trying to figure out how it can't be that big of a population of Asian women on there, assuming that he's looking for someone in his same culture. Like, I mean, the population can't be but so much. Like, he's gone through all of Houston on this app. Like, there's nobody else to consider. Like,
yeah, I really don't know. I never was on Tinder, but I know people that were on Tinder, so I don't really know how the setup is. But I agree with you that the Asian population probably is small, or we can assume to be small. And so if that is the population that he's looking for and he's attracted to, that it reduces the amount of people that he has access to anyway, hence him having out of Houston. Houston is a big city. So you out of Houston, we pick the same person, you understand, because the population is that small, and we can assume that and probably be close to being correct with our assumption, because somehow you got matched with somebody that you met 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see how Johnny continues to derail his relationship. And
no, why? We gonna continue to see how he fucked that shit up.
All right. Look,
Vicky,
I am eager.
It out.
Yeah, I am eager about these next episode. The next episode, they do these individual interviews. Like, I am wanting to see what is said. And you know, Dr. Pepper has a good reputation of holding people accountable.
Yep. Yeah, she's straight up. She's a straight shooter. I'm
excited to see her back.
Yes, but you know, I this is off, but on, why has she been, like, she's been a little absent from the last few episodes, other than like this scene or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out why she's not.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the only thing I can come up with is her coins not lined up. So you know what I'm saying? If your coin's not lined up, then I can only come episode 1, 5, and 10 and be out. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, I get, you know what, Raina, you might be right. I mean, Jay, you might be right too, but I think is older, because she's like 75.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa,
so that might be it. Yeah, she's what you call it. You know, someone said one of the other podcasters said that they was in her class at the University of Washington, which I think is.
Oh yeah, I think I heard.
But
you know. The other thing, it just could be a matter of how they wanted to set the show up. You know, that what's the two other specialists or scientists or whatever, or socialists or whatever they call themselves, though they had their kind of couple episodes, maybe it's her time to come in a couple episodes. So it could be just how it's kind of designed that they kind of focus on, because I think what's
Dr. Viviana, Pastor Cal?
Pastor Cal. So he focuses on certain things, and the other therapists focus on certain things, and then here we go with this. So I think the areas of specialty is what I'm kind of getting at, that maybe that's why it's a few episodes of this, that, and the other. Or it could be them coins not lined up right.
Yeah. I can't wait though, because they had Mirla crying, Zach crying. I'm like, okay. And then they did show Dr. Pepper telling Jose like he has controlling tendencies. I was like,
no, I saw that.
Oh, yeah. No. I got to tune in with a whole bottle of Pinot Grigio for this one. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, until next time, you guys, we'll dig right on into that episode like we did this one. Make sure again that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because it does not cost you a thing to subscribe, and then share and like the video. We'll be back next week to review Married at First Sight Houston episode, whatever we own. Until next time, you guys. Bye.
Cheers.